Hello and welcome to the third episode of Off the Bench with RGT. Thank you for all the love and support that you've given me so far. It's been pretty overwhelming. So let's move on to today's episode. Today we will be discussing my top 4 predictions for this year's IPL playoffs. But before we get cracking, I would request all of you to click on the bell icon and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to like, share and comment as well. The first team I would like to talk about today is Rajasthan Royals. I think they have been the most consistent team throughout this year's IPL, and we can clearly see that through the points table as well. They are currently in the first position, and I expect them to be there till all the matches finish before the playoffs, right? They have been super consistent in terms of team selection as well. And I think we can kind of foresee this, right? When we go back to 19th of December of last year, when the auction was held in Dubai, they are the team that bought the least number of big name players, right? Majority of their players who are playing this year played last year as well. So the likes of Jaiswal, Butler, Samson, Parag, Hetmeyer, Bolt, Ashwin, Chahal, all of them played last year as well. So they've been pretty consistent. They had their core set of players. And they just went out and got some smart additions in Robman Powell because he has that talent to finish off innings very well. He can chip in with a few overs here and there as well if needed with those cutters. And they got the experience of Avesh Khan. That was a smart trade with Lucknow Super Giants in my opinion. Avesh Khan is pretty good towards the death of the innings and also through the middle overs. I think that's where they kind of lacked last season. They didn't have that middle over bowler. They had Bolt to always obviously open the bowling and take wickets in the power play. But I think Avesh Khan's addition was superb. And why I think they will definitely reach the playoffs this year is because, I mean, the two main reasons are probably Sanju Samson's form and Ryan Parag's form, right? Ryan Parag has been superb throughout the domestic season as well in India. He batted at number 4 for his state Assam. And I think Sangakkara backed him to do that. I think I heard him say it as well, that he will bat at number 4 throughout the season for us. And he got that trust from the management and the captain. And he's kind of repaid that faith, right? He has been superb in all the matches, I would say. And Sanju Samson has been great. He has been hitting the ball out of the park for fun. And that was kind of backed up by his India team selection for the World Cup as well. But apart from the two of them, their bowling has been super consistent as well. I think Sandeep Sharma, Bolt, Chahal, Ashwin and Avesh Khan have probably played most of their matches. And that always helps, right? When the main core group of your bowlers are playing consistently, that has really helped them as well. And another thing that I would like to point out as to why I back them to reach the playoffs is because someone or the other has stepped up for them in each match, right? So if you go back to the famous chase against KKR at Eden Gardens a couple of weeks back, they had Robman Powell who came in at number 6 or 7 and really helped Butler, right? And Butler that match as well, he got 100, he batted throughout the innings and he kind of knew that if they were to get over the line, he had to bat the 20 overs and he did that very well and that helped them cross the line. A couple of days back, you saw Yashasvi Jaiswal step up and get 100 as well. Everyone was writing him off saying that he's not a 2020 batsman. He's a test batsman. He's so badly out of form this year. But you saw that a couple of weeks back, right? He got that 100. So you have someone stepping up for them in each match and you've had the consistency of Parag and Samson. So I think that has really basically helped them reach the first position in this year's IPL. And I 100% back them to stay there and get 2 cracks at qualifying for the final of this year's IPL. Okay, the next team I would like to talk about is Kolkata Knight Riders. As you can see, I am a die-hard supporter of KKR in the IPL. And I 100% back them to reach the playoffs as well. They're currently sitting comfortably in the second position. They had a good game last night as well against Mumbai Indians. And I back them to qualify for the playoffs for sure, right? And hopefully maintain that second position so they can also get 2 cracks at qualifying for the final. I think along with Sunrisers Hyderabad, KKR probably had the best auction back in December. They identified the areas that they didn't need to kind of step up and get quality players in. And they did that pretty smartly, right? I think Mitchell Stark, yes, he's not been very consistent this year, but they realized they needed a foreign world-class bowler to come in and help the likes of Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora, who are very young in the fast bowling space. So that was pretty smart. They also realized that getting someone in top of the order to open is kind of important, and Phil Salt's addition was superb. But I think the main thing that has worked for KKR, at least in the off-season period, right, between last year's IPL and this year's IPL, is Gautam Gambhir coming back. That was, I think, in my opinion, one of the smartest pieces of business that they did during the off-season period, because Gautam Gambhir has won the IPL twice with Kolkata Knight Riders, right? He understands the franchise inside out. So for him to come back was a big plus. And that can be seen from game number one, right? It was kind of his decision to push Sunil Narayan back at the top of the order. And hasn't that worked well? I mean, we can all see how well that's worked. And naturally so, right? When he was captain, he made Narayan open along with him. And even in 2017, I remember when Chris Lynn was with the franchise, Lynn and Narayan got runs in the power play for fun. So sending Sunil Narayan to bat at number 6, 7, 8 is pretty pointless, because he's someone who kind of takes advantage of that power play, right? So if you have him in your team, you might as well let him go bat openly, freely in that power play and get as many runs as possible. And that's worked really, really well for the franchise this year, because the start that he's kind of given to the team, whether you're batting first or you're chasing, has always kind of helped the middle order batsmen and the batsmen coming in at 5, 6, 7, right? And what's funny to see is that majority of the opponents have kind of focused on how to get Sunil Narayan out and kind of forgotten about Phil Salt, right? And because of that, Phil Salt has been superb. I think all the opponents have kind of focused on how do we get Sunil Narayan out so that he doesn't give KKR a good start. And then Phil Salt has just had a party, hasn't he, right? He's smashed sixes for fun. I was at the stadium watching the Punjab match a couple of weeks back, actually last weekend. And I know Punjab won that, but Phil Salt was again superb. I could see Sam Curran, who was the captain of Punjab that day, he was doing a lot of field adjustments when Narayan was on strike, but that kind of gave Phil Salt like an open slate, right? And he smashed 70 odd pretty easily. So two of them opening the batting and getting KKR off to that flyer, off to a flyer start has been superb. But apart from that, I think the middle order has been pretty good as well, right? You've had Shreyas Iyer and Venkatesh Iyer come in and steady the ship a lot of times, which is needed in my opinion. And another big find for them that has worked for them is Ankuresh Raghuvanshi, right? His talent was spotted in the Under-19 World Cup in 2022, so that's about a year and a half back. And he also trains under Abhishek Nair for Mumbai, right? Or rather in Mumbai. And Abhishek Nair is the batting coach of KKR. So I think they kind of kept him under the cover till the auction and smartly purchased him. And I think that guy has a bright future. You can see the way he bats. He's classy batsman, right? And I back him to have a great future. But apart from the batting, I think what's really stood out for KKR this year is their consistent bowling lineup. Their bowling has been very, very close-knit and very good in my opinion. While majority people are talking about how Stark was the most expensive buy in this year's IPL by KKR, I honestly feel what's kind of gone a little bit under the cover is the performances of Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora. They have been superb in my opinion, right? And I'm so glad KKR kind of retained them last year, because Vaibhav Arora's ability to kind of swing the ball in the power play overs, and Harshit Rana's ability to do the same and also bowl his cutters towards the, I would say, the death overs of an innings. It's a great addition to have. Two young Indian bowlers doing so well for the franchise has been pretty great. And let's not, discount the spinners, right? Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan, they have a knack of taking wickets consistently. Varun Chakravarti, whether he goes for runs or not, you back him to kind of take those wickets, right? And he does that. And Sunil Narayan's economy rate is, probably the best in 2020 cricket even today. I remember in that Punjab match when the other bowlers were going for 10s and 20s and over. This guy went for an economy rate of 6 runs per over. That is unreal to kind of imagine also, right? When the team is scoring 264 runs, you have a bowler who has an economy rate of 6. So yes, I definitely back them to qualify for the playoffs as well. The third team I would like, or rather, I would predict to qualify for the playoffs is Sunrisers Hyderabad. In my opinion, they had the best auction back in December. They got great players in Travis Head, Pat Cummins, Hasaranga, who's out injured, I know, this year. But their auction was superb, right? And I just kind of back them to qualify because of their batting strength. I know this year we've seen batting friendly pitches, people bowlers going for 10s and 20s in so many matches, and that is down to, I feel, the tone Sunrisers Hyderabad has kind of set from the first match itself. If Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head get going, there's no one that can stop them, right? I think in the last few matches some teams have found them out by starting with spin, but I still feel their batting power is just incredible, and I think that will kind of take them over the line and help them qualify for the playoffs. And not just Abhishek and Travis Head, right? Their middle order has been really good as well. You have Klassen coming in and smashing sixes for fun towards the end of the innings. They have a find in Nitish Reddy. I think he will play for India very soon. India lacks fast bowling all-rounders, and he's going to play for India for sure in the next few years. His batting is superb. His bowling is very good as well. And that guy is a talent, right? And if I talk about their bowling, I think they have a lot of experience in their bowling, right? You look at Pat Cummins, who's probably one of the most seasoned campaigners in the world. He knows that his slow cutters and his slow bouncers on Indian pitches work very well. He's done that very, very well in this year's IPL. And of course, you have Bhuvi, right? Who, in my opinion, he's still one of my favorite all-time bowlers, right? I tell people that if I had to choose one in-swing and out-swing bowler after Jimmy Anderson, it's probably Bhuvi. And you saw that a couple of days back when they played against Rajasthan Royals, right? He set up Butler, or rather, he bowled an outswinger to Butler, dismissed him, bowled two outswingers to Sanju Samson, set him up perfectly for that in-swinger, bowled that in-swinger and got him clean bowled, right? So seasoned campaigner, not been amongst the wickets this year, but you back Bhuvi, right, in those big situations, and we saw that in their last game against Rajasthan as well. And you have Natarajan, right? He always kind of goes under the radar, I feel, but that guy's slow balls, bowling through the middle overs is superb. I mean, he always doesn't get the accolades he deserves, I feel, but he's a great addition to have in the squad as well. So yeah, Sunrisers would be my third team. The fourth and final team I predict to reach the playoffs in this year's IPL is actually Lucknow Super Giants. I know most people probably have Chennai Super Kings to qualify for the playoffs. I mean, there's a sense of emotion involved there as well because of Dhoni, etc. But I don't think they will make it because I feel their bowling is a little weak now. Mustafizur has left for international duty. I saw Deepak Chahar pull up with his hamstring or groin, I think, in the last match. So his overs in the power play will be a big loss as well. And I think Patti Rana is carrying a niggle as well. So without the three of them, I think Chennai's bowling is a little weak. So I don't really back them to qualify for the top four. I would give it to Lucknow Super Giants. Lucknow Super Giants has been a very, very consistent team across their tenure in IPL. So I think they reached the playoffs in 22, they reached the playoffs in 23, and I'm pretty sure they will reach the playoffs this year as well. KL Rahul's form in the last few matches has been very, very positive. He's been attacking the bowlers in the power play and getting them off to a good start. I know Quinton de Kock has not been in the best of forms, but you know he's world class, right? You back him. It'll take him that one game to get back in form, and then on his day, he's going to get hundreds with ease. So the two of them at the top of the innings, if de Kock is back in form, is great. And I think the core of Indian players is actually pretty good, right? Mohsin Khan has stepped up tremendously this year. I knew he was a talent when I saw him bowl, I think 2 years back, because last year he was out of the IPL because of an injury. But when I saw him 2 years back, I could see this guy having potential. Mayank Yadav, I mean, entire world is talking about Mayank Yadav, right? You don't really see Indian bowlers crack up 150 plus speeds on Indian pitches so easily, but he's done that consistently, right? He's had a couple of injuries this year, unfortunate for him, and I think he pulled up in the last match as well. But he's a talent, right? He's going to play for India very soon as well. Marcus Stoinis' form has been superb this year. I think his promotion to number 3 in the batting order has really helped him as well. He's got runs there consistently for them. And you have Nicholas Pooran, right? Whenever you need to finish an innings, you need quick runs. He's probably the best guy in the world for that. And he does that, right? He does that for Lucknow. He did it for his previous franchise as well. He does that for the West Indies. And he's going to kind of do that for Lucknow throughout the rest of the IPL as well. Apart from that, I feel they have a good set of spinners as well. I know Krunal Pandya has not bowled much in this year's IPL, but when the pitch is slow and not doing much for the batsman, right? He's probably a great bowler to have up your sleeve, right? He bowls very smartly. He bowls very slow through the air, and the batsmen kind of get teased and get out to him. And then, of course, you have the number 1 spinner in the world in terms of ranking, Ravi Bishnoi. I think he's the number 1 2020 bowler in the world currently. And he's great, right? He knows what to bowl to the batsman when. He knows when to bowl quicker. He knows when to bowl slowly. He bowls his googlies very well. He has a very, very good googly in my opinion as well. So yeah, they have a very, very balanced team, and I back them to qualify for the playoffs as well. So yeah, those are the predictions for the playoffs in this year's IPL. Kolkata Knight Riders, Rajasthan Royals, Lucknow Super Giants, and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I will be back very soon with more content. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel. See you guys.